Good morning, everyone. Wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving from beautiful Palm Beach. Yesterday, in honor of Thanksgiving, we ordered 600 meals for Thanksgiving from Publix, which our members generously donated. And through our Project Connect and our volunteers, we brought it to very poor families in West Palm Beach, families that have children who aren't well. And when we came to Publix to load our truck, the Publix manager said, "We have a lot of leftover bread from yesterday. Would you like to take it and deliver it to these needy families?" And we said, of course. As we were loading the truck with these loaves of bread, I was reminded of the Korban Todah. The Torah says that in the temple times, when a person felt gratitude and thanksgiving to God for a great blessing or miracle in their life, they brought a special sacrifice called the Thanksgiving sacrifice. And the Torah says that together with the sacrificial meat, the Jew had to bring 40 loaves of bread. And not only did he have to bring 40 loaves of bread, but he had to finish it within one day. And the question is, why would the Torah insist that you should bring 40 loaves of bread? And furthermore, how could a person eat 40 loaves of bread? And the answer, Rabbi say, is that because you cannot finish it yourself, the Jew would have to set up a table in Jerusalem and say, "Everyone come join me in my Thanksgiving meal and my Thanksgiving feast." So he should finish all the 40 loaves of bread in one day. And by people joining his meal, they would say, "Why are you giving thanks to God?" And he would tell them what he was grateful for. And like this, he would share the kindness of God that God bestowed upon him with others. And this is the Jewish meaning of Thanksgiving. Not only to give thanks to God on a personal, private level, but to publicly thank God and tell others about God's kindness. And that is what's unique about the Thanksgiving holiday, which is a very religious, good American holiday, but has great Jewish roots. As a matter of fact, some say that Christopher Columbus was one of those Jews escaping Spain at that time, and he was Jewish, and that's why they chose turkey, because the turkey in Hebrew is hodu, which means Thanksgiving, and also means a turkey in Hebrew. But the reason why Thanksgiving is special in the American culture is because people thank God every day for their blessings. But at the Thanksgiving dinner table, people go around the table and publicly thank God and tell everyone about their blessings in their life and what they're particularly grateful for in this particular year. A matter of fact, as Jews, Jacob had 12 tribes, 12 sons, but we are collectively called Yehudim. Yehudim is from the word Judah, Yehudah. Yehudah means to give thanks. We are called a people who give and express thanks to God. Matter of fact, the first word we say every morning is Moda Ani, I give thanks to God. And Torah tells us that Leah, when she had her fourth child, she named him Yehudah, which means I now give thanks to God. And the rabbis say, why did Leah wait for her fourth child to thank God? Why didn't she thank God for her first, for her second, for her third? And the rabbis give us a very interesting insight into gratitude and thanksgiving. The rabbis say that Leah knew through divine prophecy that the four matriarchs, the four wives of Jacob, would have a collective 12 children, which would be the 12 tribes of Israel. And so doing the math, she figured 4 wives, 12 children, each one will have 3. And therefore, when she had her fourth child, she said, "This time I will give thanks to God." Why? Because she felt like she got more than she deserved in life. She got more than her fair share. Human nature is, when we get what we feel we're entitled to, we don't feel as grateful. But when we get more than our fair share, more than we deserve, more than we expected, then we have a sense of thankfulness and gratitude. But here's the brilliant insight of Leah. Our rabbis say what Leah recognized when she had her fourth child is that she was wrong in her calculation. Every woman was not going to get 3 children. As a matter of fact, because she got 4, that means someone else is going to get only 2 children. And indeed, her sister Rachel only had 2 children. And so she realized that she shouldn't wait for the 4th child to be grateful for getting more than her fair share. But actually, even for the first 3 children, retroactively, she realized she needs to be grateful, because there are no guarantees in life. And even things that you feel you're deserving of or you're expecting, there are no assurances in life, and you have to be grateful for each and every one of those things. So now she realized how grateful she has to be for her first 3 children. And indeed, that's the deeper Jewish concept of Thanksgiving. Don't just wait to win the lottery to be grateful for something extraordinary to happen. But even the ordinary things that you take for granted, the fact that you're healthy, don't assume that that's a granted. There are many people who are not healthy. The fact that you have wonderful children, the fact that you earn a living, the fact that you have 2 legs, that you have eyes, that you have ears that can hear. There are some people who don't have that. There are those who have less, and therefore appreciate and be grateful for every single blessing in your life. But the most fascinating Jewish concept of Thanksgiving surely is what the Talmud says, that just like you have to be grateful for the good, You have to be grateful for the bad. Kishem shemevarchem al tov, kach mevarchem al hara. How could Judaism tell us to be grateful for the bad things that happen to us in our lives? And the answer is, if we believe that God loves us, then everything He does to us is for a reason and for a purpose. And I actually learned this lesson last week. Every month I go to a prison called South Bay Correctional Facility. And when you drive up, it doesn't say prison, it doesn't say jail, it says correctional facility. And I go there to learn Torah with the Jews, the Jewish inmates. And this week I was talking to one of the Jewish inmates who I learn with every month. And he was telling me, Rabbi, good news. I'm going home on January 22nd, in 2 months from now. And I was so happy for him, and he was so happy. And I spoke to him about his experience in prison. And he said he's been there for 6 years. He is 78 years old. He was born in Venezuela. And I said, how did you survive? And he said, the only way I survived was that I discovered my Jewish identity and my Jewish roots in prison. And he said, not only did I get what I deserve by coming to jail, but I got more than I deserve. Because this experience has been a great blessing for me in my life. And I'm grateful for the experience, because if not for coming here, I would have never discovered my Jewish identity. I would have never known that I'm a Jew. A matter of fact, he said, born in Venezuela 78 years ago, he was never given a Brit Milai circumcision. And when he started learning about his Jewish identity through the visits of the rabbis in the prison, he realized that he needs a circumcision, and he requested from the prison authorities if he could have a circumcision. And sure enough, they granted him. And in the clinic, in the prison, he performed the mitzvah of circumcision at the age of 75 years old. And he said, now I know that I'm a Jew, and I live as a Jew, as a proud Jew, and I've done teshuvah for my mistakes, and I've made many mistakes in my life, not just the one that I'm in prison for, but many other mistakes that were not necessarily illegal, but immoral. And now all I want to do is live out my years as a Jew, and I've actually requested if I could be transferred to Israel so I could live out my life as a proud Jew. And here was a man who was not only grateful for the blessings of his life, but even for the hardships in his life. We should all be so fortunate that even if we go through challenges and hardships, we should be able to have the faith to believe and to know that everything God does is out of love. And we should come to see how everything in our life is a blessing, not just the things that appear good, but even things that appear as hardships and challenges. May this Thanksgiving bring joy and gratitude to each and every one of us, and may we see and recognize and celebrate all the blessings of our life.